This is the 12th South HiRise for the iPhone 5 and the iPad mini. Hi, Dan from your diary, and today we're going to take a look at 12 South's newest product. This is the HiRise for the iPhone 5 and the iPad mini. It has an MSRP of $34.99, and it is a beautiful, beautiful dock and stand for your iPhone 5 and your iPad mini. There are a couple of really nice things about this. First off, it's beautifully made. It's made from metal with a little bit of plastic, and it does hold either the iPhone or the iPad. And what's nice about that is it actually lifts the device off of your desk or your countertop, which is great because if you have it sitting on the counter and you spill, the device gets damaged. However, with this, the base gets wet, but the phone or the tablet doesn't get wet. In addition, what's nice about this is that you can use it with either the iPhone or the iPad. A lot of docks are one or the other, but not both. You can use it for both, and you can actually use this dock, this stand, with the iPhone or the iPad in most cases. And that's because it comes with inserts that will raise or lower the lightning connector and allow you to use those cases. There are 3 of these white clips that actually can be inserted here. One of them keeps the lightning connector right in line with the plastic base. The other, this is the middle one, lifts it up a little bit, and then the third raises it up even more. For example, if you're using an OtterBox or a LifeProof case. Really like this dock, but it's far from perfect, and here's why. First off, it's a BYOC dock. It's a bring your own cable dock. You need to have an extra lightning connector in order to use this dock. It does not ship with one. If you only have one lightning connector and you don't want it to be occupied permanently by this stand, don't get the stand. The other thing is that you actually have to put it together. Now, it's not complicated, but I did find that it took some finessing. Here's why. On the bottom, if you pull this up, it opens up and there's a hexagonal wrench that sits in the base, which you're going to want if you need to actually change your cases on your phone. Now, there are a couple of pieces that come with it. There's the base, there's this longer piece, there's this shorter piece, and then there's the insert. You have one of 3 of them you can use. For the smaller piece, you're going to have to think about which clip you want to use before you set up the case. If you're using a case like this, which exposes the bottom of the phone, you're going to want the 0. If you're using a case that has a small layer over the bottom of the phone, you're going to want to use the middle one. If you're using something like the OtterBox or the LifeProof, you're going to want to try it with the longer one. I use the middle one and then realized that the case I use most of the time, this is from Clip. We'll talk about that in another video. Doesn't have anything over the bottom. I really could have used the 0. I couldn't get the clip out of here. Now, I probably could have if I'd forced it, but I didn't want to risk damaging it and breaking it, especially not before I did the review. So I left it the way it is. It works fine, but we'll look in a second at why that might be something that you want to think about. You then take the piece, once you've fed the cable through, up into and locked the cable in place, and you take the first 2 screws and you screw the smaller piece into place. It only goes one way, so long as you have the 12 South logo toward the front. Then you want to take the longer piece. Now the longer piece can move forward or back. You're going to want it all the way up if you're using the iPhone or the iPad without a case. You're going to want to move it back more depending upon how thick the case is. This is where it gets a little more complicated. So let me loosen up the hexagonal bolts. And you can see that you can move it all the way up or you can move it all the way back depending upon the thickness of the case you're using. Now, you're going to want to finesse it because you want the right amount of distance because you do want the phone or the tablet resting against this. That's what keeps you from putting extra pressure on the lightning connector. And it took some doing for me to get the right positioning. Let's see if I can get it quickly now that I've done it once. That looks about right. So when you're done, you take the hexagonal wrench, you put it into the base where it's nicely stored, and then you just take the base, make sure that the cable is pressed all the way in, and then you push it into place and you're good to go. Then you can take your device, and as you can see, hopefully on camera, it is supporting the back of the device. There's no stress being placed on the lightning connector. Now the issue that I was talking about before is that because I use the middle clip, it's actually raised up a little bit so the base of the phone is not sitting along the white stripe here. That would give it even more stability. Not a big deal, but I wish I'd thought it through a little bit more before I put it together. So if you're looking for a dock that you can use right out of the box, this is not going to be the dock for you. If you don't mind bringing your own lightning cable and having to put it together and finesse it a little bit, and you want something that looks great, looks different, works with the iPhone 5 or the iPad mini or both, and can work with or without cases, this is a really, really nice dock, and it's under $35. This is the 12 South HiRise. It has an MSRP of $34.99. This is Dan for Gear Diary. Thanks for watching.